welcome to part one of Africa's premier sports video podcast, the Three Quarters Podcast. Remember to jump onto the hashtag 3QP to let us know what you're interested in the world of sport. I'm Demima Dofio.
And I'm Narakamuya.
So, feature game for match day 8. As exciting as they come. Ngong Road Derby. Impala hosting Kenya Harlequins. At the end of the day, Harlequins winning that. Painful loss. Painful but not unexpected. So Harlequins won that game 34-27.
Yes.
And I mean, in my opinion, even before the game started, and I think I remember last week talking about this, saying Impala need to show up. The way they've been playing, it just wasn't going to cut it for that game. And I mean, in the first half, we saw that. Harlequins started with, so much intensity. Impala were just sort of participating, to be honest, in that first half. There was no real intent. I think I will speak on behalf of most of the Impala supporters when we're just sitting there like, okay, so is this how it's gonna go? But then in the second half, I'm sure they got a talk from Oscar saying like, guys, do you want to play? And they came back and they showed us the Impala that we would have liked to have seen in the first half. Sort of started evening things out, but I mean, too little too late, unfortunately.
I don't even think, by the way, that Impala really put up a good show in the second half. I think it was more of Queen's mistakes. Of course, the most important thing to note is the two sin bins. One was questionable, one was legitimate, one was questionable. The one for Roxy Suchi was questionable. But it was given, and it's funny, I was sat somewhere and I guess the standard of refereeing, and fans will only say whatever they say. I will say that I actually disputed, but he proved right. One of the fans was saying, when Constant Cap is refereeing a Queen's game, it doesn't end without a sin bin. And I was like, no, you're just talking. I don't think that's the case. Anyway, it came to happen, and Impala capitalized on that. But you're right, Queens did take off very quickly, registering a hell lot of points in the first half. At some point, everyone thought it was going to get to 40. And I think had Queens not set their foot off the gas pedal, I think it would have actually gotten to 40 points. There were some substitutions in the second half that resulted in Queens actually just slowing down the game. Of course, Laila Siligwa, who had a fantastic game. His kicking for points was excellent. His joining the line in attack from fullback was excellent. We saw sometimes they confused the enemy by him slotting into number 10 and Eden Aguero going to 15. Taking off Lyle, I think, actually did affect their performance towards the second half. Eden Aguero, he had a very good game. Paul Kyoko actually had also a fantastic game in the front row. Then Impala, we saw about a 10-minute window in which we saw what we expected to see from Impala, or what many people had hoped to see from Impala. I think the introduction of Davis McCory was very important.
Definitely made a difference, coming off injury.
Exactly, it did make a difference, and he actually did get a try on one occasion. I know he got them past the gain line. All in all, I don't think it was a very convincing performance by Impala, primarily because everyone feels with 14 men, I think Queens would have been able to reduce the number of tries they soaked in. But when we went down to 13, it was going to be difficult to. And by the way, it was all sin bins in the front row. It was. in the forwards. It was going to be very difficult for Queens to not concede penalties or to not, get into useless infringements. It was going to be difficult for them not to concede tries at that point. But I always feel at Impala, they really need to work on their number 10 issue. It's unfortunate they lost Mohamed Omolo, but Samuel Liech functions best coming in from number 15. And we didn't see him getting the line moving. We didn't see him getting the backs moving yesterday. I feel he has much more impact when he comes in at number 15. Definitely a class player. It's just a matter of preference as to where he should play, whether it's 10 or 15. So it's not what people expected from Impala. And Impala have, the last 4 games, Cabras, then Nondis, then Mwamba, now Queens.
It's just not been going well for them.
It's not been going well for them. But look, there's no denying it on the day that Queens are the better team.
Definitely.
Definitely the better team. They've been on an ascendancy, and sometimes you feel that it was good that they lost against Oilers. One,
kind of wake them up.
Exactly. One. Two, if there's a team that has benefited from their 7 stars not being there or not going for 7s, Kenya Harlequins. I mean, the likes of William Barker and especially Eden Aguero, number 10. It's been and had, for example, the 7s guys gone for 7s, Queens would be having a serious problem at number 10 because remember Isaac Adimo is injured. So if there's a team that is happy with the situation right now, it must be Queens because Eden Aguero is getting them points.
Yep, definitely.
Yeah.
I mean, you touched on the refs, and I remember just telling myself, don't mention it. I try not to, unless it's something that. But on the day, and as much as I know, Kenya Harlequins fans and players feel like Constant Cap will always, be a little keen and maybe a little harsh. I don't know, but it's the same on the Impala side. I think reffing on the day was, I don't generally complain about reffing, but on the day it was a little iffy on both sides. Try scoring opportunities where you're like, wait, what just happened? But anyway, so scores 27-34. Well done, Harlequins. No surprise there, to be honest. Other scores on the day, we had Cabras just saying guys, 46-15 against Mwamba. Black Blood losing to Oilers 14-23. KCB finally with a convincing win against Nakuru 49-6. Nondi's beating Machine, that's always going to be a toughie, 17-3. And the shocker, of course, on the day was Homeboys versus Strathmore. Strathmore winning that 16-14. So Strathmore coming from, starting the season off losing 2 of the good players, and then the rest just kind of sort of peeled off because of injury, because of work. So John Bai is working with a relatively, it's a young team. We know it's a young team. But he's also been losing a lot of players on the way. So it's been coming, and here we are.
I was speaking to one of the Strathmore fans over the weekend, and we were just discussing about, of course, it's election season. So we were discussing about the elections of the union, we were talking about stuff. And one conversation led to another, and he was talking about Strathmore being relegated. And he was very categorical. I don't think Strathmore is going to be relegated. They do believe, while some teams sit there and they're like, this one is tough. Strathmore themselves don't believe they're going to get relegated, and maybe that's all they need. Maybe that's all they need. Yep.
I mean, I was talking to John Bai, over the weekend, and he was telling me how, they've had a few setbacks, but he's trying to get the boys to be more resilient, towards refs, towards the other teams. Just keep going, keep it going, keep the faith. And I mean, they've kept going. So I'd like to see them with more wins, obviously.
That's true.
But best of luck to them. So the standings right now, Cabra's still at the top, KCB at 2nd, Quins at 3rd, Nondi's at 4th, Mwamba at 5th, Homeboys at 6th, Impala at 7th, so they keep dropping. Palaman, Nakuru at 8th, and then Oilers, Blood, Strathmore, and Machine. So next week we take a break. So guys, miss us a little. But there still is rugby action. That will be the first round of the Enterprise Cup and also Mwamba Cup. But we will be back on the 9th of February. Man, this January needs to end. 40 days of January finally coming to an end.
57.
So on the 9th of February, this is how the games will look. So you have Cabras versus Harlequins. I think that is definitely a game to watch. Not our feature game. Definitely, Oilers versus Impala, Mwamba versus Black Blood, Mean Machine versus Homeboys, and Nakuru versus Nondi's. Though our feature game will be Strathmore Leos taking on KCB. How do you think those will go just before we wrap up?
Queens versus Cabras. Yes, Queens are hosting Cabras. I'll be pragmatic. I was actually having a discussion with some Queens guys over the weekend. I'll be pragmatic. With the firepower I've seen at Cabras, it's going to be very difficult for Queens to win that game. All I ask is let it not get to 40.
Let's go, Cabras.
Let it not get to 40. Let us be the first guys who don't test 40.
I actually think
if they score 40, let's score that.
But I think out of the teams we've seen, Harlequins would probably be the team that would narrow that gap.
Because I don't even think KCB will, because you see, Cabras thrive on a very mobile game, and Queens are also very mobile, the way we watched them this season. I think for Cabras, of course, the most important person is going to be number 10, Logan Bassa. But he has an equally good competitor in Eden Aguirre, number 10. So,
how about the next one?
So the next one is
Oilers Impala.
Impala.
Mwamba Blood.
Mwamba.
Machine Homeboys. Nakuru Nondis. KCB Leos. KCB. Guys, let us know what you think. Also, we'd love to see you at our feature game. Remember, you can find us on social media. That is by following us on Instagram, liking our page on Facebook, and subscribing to our YouTube channel. I'm Demi Duffield.
And I'm Nara Kamuya.
See you in part 2.